Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Fat Katz Podcast. I'm Ward Sewell, joined by the big man Cam Taylor. And for anybody listening, happy Solar Eclipse Day. Not sure if anybody's gone outside. Call me a bad guy if you want. I could care less about seeing the sun and the solar eclipse. I saw it my junior year of high school at football practice, and I'll see pictures, man. It didn't do much for me. Cam, how we doing, brother?
Doing well, man. I'm looking outside, possibly that the solar eclipse is going on right now. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, looking a little foggy here.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. I could not really care less about it. But if you're into that kind of stuff, man, cool day for you. I hope you enjoy it. And it's everything you imagined it would be.
Yeah.
Today, episode 50, Milestone
50, big
Podcast.
50, Cam. I didn't even talk about this. We're making I'll have to throw the glasses on for this one, brother. We're making a landmark here, my friend. At 50 episodes in.
Yes, sir. We're getting up there, man. Before we get into it, I want to remind
we're 12 days from our 1 year anniversary, Cam. You might have to take me on a steak dinner.
you have to take me on a steak dinner. But no, super excited for the year landmark. 420, I believe, was our first episode.
Yep, 420.
No relation. But want to remind everybody before we get into it, find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Just type in the Fat Katz Podcast, KATZ. Instagram and TikTok at Fat Katz Pod. Leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But heck of a show, man. We moved it up a day. We had some big news break last night. We had some awesome sporting events over the weekend, and we've got another awesome sporting event tonight. But Ward, before we get into it, how was your weekend, man?
It was good, man. It was good, Cam. I think, obviously we're front and center. The reason why we're here, I think we need to go ahead and there's a big elephant in the room. I think we need to jump right into it, my friend. I know we have some stuff to go over first. I think we need to hop right into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have some unfortunate news. No, I'm just kidding. Nothing's going on with the Fat Katz. If you were awake last night at about 11 p.m., you would have saw an ESPN update come through. John Calipari, head coach of Kentucky for 17 years, Cam. Am I correct?
15
years, long time, longer than half of me and Cam's life. The head coach at the University of Kentucky. And he decided to jump ship, and he's now going to be an Arkansas Razorback. So, Cam, obviously you have a lot more emotional ties, emotional connections, financial connections to Big Blue Nation and Kentucky Wildcats. So, brother, I am passing the ball off to you. Initial thoughts and reaction.
Yeah, and if I go too long on this, just cut me off. Like, you will not hurt my feelings. But a lot of thoughts in the past, 15 hours, I guess. Kind of started, like, the smoke started early yesterday, and I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. Like, I thought that he was just trying to, like, do that and then come back and be like, oh, didn't you guys miss me? Like, all that good stuff. Actually takes the Arkansas Razorbacks job at about 11:30, 12 o'clock last night. I didn't sleep a lick. I probably slept 2 hours last night. Just thinking of, replacements, memories, all that stuff. John Calipari is, a huge part of my childhood, Ward. Like,
oh yeah, he is, dude.
I remember the tail end of the Billy Gillispie, the last year Billy Gillispie, but like 99% of my Kentucky basketball memories are John Calipari.
Yeah, and I was thinking of it from like a Carolina or a Duke point of view. I know you really can't compare. You can and can't compare Calipari to like Coach K or Roy Williams, but I can think of fans when they decided to up and leave, but they retired. It was a completely different case. But yeah, man, I mean, that's you. Obviously, it's your whole childhood. And that's when you think of Kentucky basketball, you do think of John Calipari. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. So if Reed Shepherd, Rob Dillingham, and Antonio Reeves played in the NBA in 15 years, he would have had 50 NBA players, which is crazy. One title, the Final Fours, the almost perfect team. So many great memories of John Calipari and these Kentucky teams. But the last 4 years were like, you can't do that at Kentucky. This was the worst 4-year stretch at Kentucky in God knows how long. Legit. A lot of people think like Calipari's leaving, like Kentucky's done. People like the program is bigger than the coach. Kentucky's had 7 head coaches award. 5 have won national championships. This place has been here long before John Calipari. It's going to be here long after John Calipari.
I love the confidence.
I think, and again, I love Cal. I'll always love Cal. Like, he'll always have a special place in my heart. I thought he took the coward's way out, personally. John Calipari is the reason this program is where it is right now, and he wasn't man enough to fix it before he left. He cowered away because the fans were upset. I don't know what we were supposed to be after you lose to Oakland, lose to St. Peter's, lose in the second round, don't make the tournament in a 4-year stretch. But singing your praises is probably not on the docket for many Kentucky fans. I hope he does well at Arkansas, and I'm super excited for the next step. I've been all in this coaching search since 12 o'clock last night. A lot of guys on my list. We'll see who we end up with, but super excited for the future of Kentucky basketball.
So, Cam, you know me. I'm a sales guy. What I do in sales is I dig in. I try to get in. I get to a problem statement. I try to figure out what is behind the initial layer. That makes sense. So, obviously, you've done a lot of thinking. 3 coaches come to the top of your head. Give me 3. Give me the 3 first initial thoughts come to the top of your head. Give me your 1, 2, and 3. Give me the reasons why.
I'll give you
Brief overview.
I'll give you a dream, an
There you
unlikely, and a probable. How about that?
Boy.
Dream, either we'll say old dude with the Celtics. I forgot his name. He's in Butler forever. But that doesn't matter. It's a dream. He's not coming. He has Jason Tatum. He's the president of basketball ops. Unlikely, but possible. Dan Hurley at UConn's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to do. Brad Stevens was the guy I was talking about, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Hurley at UConn's the guy. I don't think UConn can match the money that Kentucky's going to give him. I saw a report today that boosters are making RAD aware that he'll have the next basketball coach will have anywhere between $15 and $20 million a year in salary and NIL.
Wow.
I don't think UConn can come up with $15 to $20 million a year for anything.
No, hell no.
There's actual legs to this. Like, I've been told. I've read that he's a lot like Pitino was in the 90s, which is like Pitino got to the top of college basketball in the 90s and went to the Celtics. Mm-hmm. The same reason that, Pitino went to the Celtics could be the same reason Hurley goes to Kentucky. It's a different caliber of job. Like, Kentucky is a far better job than UConn. It's the best job in college basketball.
When you think of Kentucky college basketball, you're going to think of I'm just going to give you like 3 schools in college football, like a Georgia or an Alabama, a USC, who else? An Ohio State, a Michigan. Like, they're up there with one of those, there's different tiers, there's different levels. And when it comes to college basketball, Kentucky's at the top. Kentucky's a blue blood. There's 4 schools up there with Kentucky, maybe 3 schools up there with Kentucky, but Kentucky is, you can't argue, they are up there. So very curious to see. I was thinking, I'm an ACC guy. So I was thinking if there was any ACC coaches that Kentucky would possibly approach. Obviously, Shire, Duke's head coach, and Carolina's head coach, they're both alumni there. I don't think they're going anywhere. I was trying to think everybody else in the ACC, maybe. I don't think this guy qualifies. UVA's head coach, can't remember his name off the top of his head. He's been a national champion. He's obviously a defensive-minded coach. He's been to 2 national championships, won 1. So I was thinking about that off the top of my head. I didn't think he'd be qualified enough, but I don't know, man. I'm really curious to see what direction y'all go in.
Yeah. Again, back the Brinks truck up to Dan Hurley's front door.
Yeah.
Make him tell you no like 5 times. I think Scott Drew at Baylor's probably, if you don't get Hurley, that's probably going to end up being the guy. I like Nate Oates at Alabama. I like old dude at Iowa State, Otzelberg or whatever his name is.
At what school you said? I'm sorry. Iowa State.
Okay. Tommy Lloyd at Arizona. What we've gathered,
What about Gonzaga's coach? He's been there for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been there.
Because you guys obviously are going to be able to reach out to whoever you want,
Yeah, I don't know if Few would take that job. I don't know if Few was cut out for that job. You've got to be a rock star to go to Kentucky and be great. Billy Donovan has said that he's interested. Now, Billy Donovan's turned us down twice already, so we'll see. But what it seems like is outside of Bill Self, outside of Shire, outside of Hubie Davis, outside of we just lost Ward, outside of
Sorry,
goodness,
brother. I had to
oh,
look
you're
at
fine.
something.
Shire, Hubie, Jay Wright, Bill Self, and maybe Dan Hurley. Kentucky will probably have their pick of the litter. Like, this is the best job opening, maybe in college basketball history. Now the NIL and transfer portal is a thing.
Yeah.
So again, super excited. I'd go get Dan Hurley if I could. But safe bet is probably Scott Drew from Baylor.
Yeah.
Who I would be happy with on record. I'd be totally fine if Scott Drew was the next head coach of Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm really curious what direction you guys going. I have not heard anything yet. I haven't been listening to. They weren't, surprisingly, man, they weren't talking. I had Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith. I listen to them every day when I'm at work, just in my headphones. They didn't talk much about coaching options for you guys. I think it's still too early. They were just talking about Calipari, ripping Calipari. Shannon Sharp had some very interesting takes about Calipari, by the way, about how he's been there 50 years or 15 years. Talks about all the greats, like all these guys that he has had, all the talent he's had play for them, and he only has one national championship to show for it. And then Stephen A. Smith was trying to argue, like, yeah, you got to think about Kentucky's recruiting classes, but Duke, Carolina, Kansas, like they're having recruiting classes like that too. But at the end of the day, when you look at the level, when you look, when they put that graphic up, they do it every year at March Madness time. They put the graphic up of the Kentucky starting five, the Duke starting five, the Carolina starting five, the Kansas starting five. Nobody touches Kentucky's jocks. I hate to say it, but nobody's getting anywhere near Kentucky. So maybe it's good for y'all, man. I do think it's time for y'all to go another direction. Cam, 2 years ago, you were sitting on the couch in Highlands 21 Unit 2, and Highlands 20 or Building 55 Unit 2, and you guys had just gotten beat. I believe it was by St. Peter's. Yep. And I walked in and I was ready to talk my shit, man. And I could tell you were upset, and I said, I'm gonna give it another day. And then I said, all right, Cam, how you feeling? And you were like, Calipari's freaking gone. And I said, okay, hell yeah, man. I was gonna talk shit to you about that. But anyway, Cam, I don't know if you have any closing thoughts, but I hate it for you, bro. I mean, I think it's bittersweet,
Yeah.
The way I look at it, when doors close, guess what happens, brother? Other doors open, Yeah.
That's how I'd say it. I feel like both sides needed a fresh start. It was just so toxic. Like, barring outside of winning a national championship this year at Kentucky, this is the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Because he'll be better off, because he was probably going to get booed coming into Rupp Arena. And these kids that were coming in, we're going to have so much pressure on them. This is probably the best case scenario if Mitch Barnhart makes the right hire. I do have 2 tweets I want to read, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
Kyle Tucker said, leave it to John Calipari to upstage the 8th consecutive Final Four that he's not in. I thought that was hilarious. But that's another reason, like, Dan Hurley takes this job. Dan Hurley's playing for a national championship today, and that's not the biggest story in the sport. Mm-mm. The biggest story in the sport is John Calipari is gone, and the Kentucky job is open. So if you want to say –
and Undertaker. We'll get that later.
Well, yeah, in this sport.
I thought you said sports, my bad.
One more. Trey Mitchell was a grad transfer for Kentucky last year. I want to read his college career. So he started at UMass. After he entered the transfer portal, his head coach was fired at UMass. He went to Texas. Chris Beard was fired the year he left Texas. He went to West Virginia. Bob Huggins was fired the year he left West Virginia. And then he went to Kentucky. And John Calipari left for Arkansas the year he left Kentucky. So Trey Mitchell might be the college basketball head coach killer.
I wonder how many recruits Kentucky loses now, and how many transfers you got.
I would say, if you're a Kentucky fan or just a fan of the sport, I would go with the mindset that every player that was on this roster and every commit recruiting class won't be here next year.
No shot. Because at the end of the day, people are coming to play for that man. They're not coming to play for University of Kentucky. I mean, they are, but they're coming to play for John Calipari. But
so I always tell people, expect everybody to leave, and if somebody comes back, be happy.
Yep. But yeah, Cam, hope the best for you, man. Glad we got into it. Glad we covered that. So perfect, man. Let's get into it. You already explained first favorite forgotten. I'm not gonna explain it again. First favorite forgotten, Cam. You would go first with my first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Vita Vea. I think everybody knows he's one of the most dominant one techniques in the NFL. So Vita Vea, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Bucks, All Pro. Ward, where did Vita Vea go to college?
Washington.
There you go.
Samoan, baby.
Yeah, look
All
at
the
the
Samoans
guns.
go to Washington.
Put them up there again.
Hey,
Let's see
go,
the
baby.
guns.
Hey, anybody see the Trae Young jersey? ATL.
Heck yeah. My first is going to be Ryan Shazier. For as long as he played, one of the best inside linebackers in the league. Obviously, a tragic end to his career as a Steeler, but he'll always be one of my favorite Steelers, Ward, just because the way he played.
Yep. And Cam, copying you, I also put Ryan Shazier down as well, and I have an exact reason why. So I went and saw Ryan Shazier play 1 year. Yes, I know as I've told you a million times. I've been to Heinz Field twice, and by the way, it will always be called Heinz Field, whatever the hell it's called now. It's Heinz Field in my book. But I've been to Heinz Field twice. Went in it was either 20. I think it was 2016's first time I went. It was or 2017, 2018 is the first two times I went to Heinz Field. And anyway, saw Ryan Shazier play the first time. Second time was the year he got hurt. And something really cool that they did when I was there was, they're playing New England Patriots and Tom Brady, which is a huge game. And the year it was right in the fourth quarter. The teams, it's a tie game, or it might have been Tampa or New England might have been up 3. And they show like Ryan Shazier FaceTimes the stadium. It shows him FaceTime the stadium. He's in the hospital. And you want to talk about crowd eruptions, man. If you go to probably top 5 crowd eruptions of all time, that's one of them. Pittsburgh, the city of Pittsburgh, loves Ryan Shazier. And Ryan Shazier was in a hospital bed waving his terrible towel, and that place went freaking ballistic, man. And ever since that, just the way sports or like cities unite around sports, I'm going to get into it in a little bit with NC State. That's just, I've always had such a big respect for Ryan Shazier after that. So long story short, he's my favorite number 50.
Yeah, I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Ryan Shazier. My favorite number 50 is going to be Zach Randolph, Zebo, the double-double machine for the Memphis Grizzlies and the Portland Trailblazers. We talked about DJ Burns. Zach Randolph was kind of in this, mold. I watched that guy, and I was like, I could be a professional athlete one day. He was not the most, physically gifted guy, but he made a living in the NBA, being one of the best 4 men in the league. Great rebounder, mid-range, one of the best mid-range players of that generation. Zebo, where he's from, bullies get bullied, is what he told Boogie Cousins.
Yeah.
Zebo is one of my favorite 50s of all time.
I like it, man. Former Memphis legend too. But Cam, going into my forgotten, have you ever heard the name Emeka Okafor?
I have.
Anyway, do you remember the Charlotte Bobcats days, or did you get there when it was the Hornets days?
I remember the Bobcats days.
I didn't know if you were in Charlotte or not for that point. But anyway, back in the day, the only reason why this came to mind, this was actually the first that came to mind, but I wanted to put him as my forgotten. My dad had one of those like drawstring bags. I don't know what they're called. And it was navy blue and orange, and it had Bobcats, number 50. And it didn't have a name. It said Bobcats 50. And I don't know. I thought this was pretty cool. Does this guy have any, Cam, you will know this, Jaleel Okafor that used to play for Duke, do they have any family ties or not? Do you know?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
But anyway, Emeka Okafor, he was the first one that came to mind, and I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah.
Yeah, if you want to see a funny press conference clip, Jim Calhoun got asked about a player that he didn't recruit when he was at UConn, and he basically said, "I'm an idiot. I took Emeka Okafor and Caron Butler over this guy, who the 2 that he took ended up being NBA players, and the guy he didn't take ended up not going to the NBA." So that's a funny clip if you've never watched it. Not safe for work, by the way. But Emeka Okafor, yeah, I think he won. Might have to fact check myself after this, but I'm pretty sure he won Rookie of the Year. But I'll go back and look after I talk about my forgotten, who is Larry Foote. doesn't get enough credit. He was the middle linebacker, had the green dot. Like, he was a team captain for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2008, 2009, 2010. That era of Steelers football. One of the best defenses of all time, and he was the middle linebacker. And I don't think he gets enough credit for what he did for that team. He was kind of the glue that held that defense together. So Larry Foote, always going to be one of my favorite Steelers of all time as well. And if you're a middle linebacker wearing 50 for the Steelers, you're probably going to have a pretty good career.
Got some big shoes to fill, my friend.
For sure.
Big shoes to fill.
That was first favorite and forgotten. Ward, we got weekly game balls to hand out. So I'm going to let you go first. I'm going to make sure Emeka Okafor won Rookie of the Year.
Awesome. Cool. Weekly game balls. I'm going to put 2 and 1. So on Saturday, right before the state basketball game, NC State had their spring ball game. And anyway, the boys looked very good. I didn't get to watch the game, watch some of the highlights, but 2 guys that really popped out in the highlights. One, our quarterback, Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina, played excellent. I think he's going to be a great fit for the Wolfpack. But my 2 game balls this week, 2 guys that are from Raleigh, Wesley Grimes, Millbrook High School, Noah Rogers, Roseville High School. Wesley went to Wake Forest last year. Noah went to Ohio State, both 4-star, or Wesley was Noah was a 5-star. Wesley was a 4-star. Both transferred to NC State. Both of them had 2 touchdown catches in the spring game this week. That obviously, looking at wide receiver, we have with Casey Concepcion, Wesley Grimes, and Noah Rogers. That's going to be a scary receiving core right there. So, plus we have our starting tight end coming back. It's going to be, boys are looking good this year, Cam. Very excited for Wolfpack football. So 2 game balls into 1.
Love to hear that. Can't wait to watch the Western Carolina Catamounts.
Put a hurting on them, boy.
Whip their asses. I'm super excited for the Wolfpack, man. I think this could be one of the best.
This has a chance, man. We have a chance. Every year we're supposed to be good. We're not very good. That's just the name of the game with the Wolfpack. But we do have a chance to be pretty good, Cam. Not getting too excited, though.
Yeah. And let me just say, man, I'm good. 2004, 2005 Rookie of the Year, Emeka Okafor.
There you go. There you go.
I want to give my first game ball to the Arkansas athletic director. I can't pronounce his name. He's got a crazy name. But he got turned down by Jerome Tang of Kansas State, got turned down by Chris Beard at Ole Miss, and then he goes and pulls off a John Calipari contract. That's going to reunite, that is going to rejuvenate that program.
Yep.
You couldn't have gotten a better hire if you're Arkansas. And shout out to the Tyson family for opening up the checkbooks and getting them into town.
Yep.
I think for a couple of years he'll do really well at Arkansas, and this AD, a masterclass in job searches, I guess.
Yeah. Shout out Tucker Corbin too. I know old Tuck's a happy guy.
Hey, it's a bad day to be a bowl of mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Awesome. Cam, going into my next game ball, not sure if you've heard of this guy, Akshay Bhatia. He is a PGA Tour golfer from Raleigh. He's actually younger than us, Cam. He's not even 23 years old yet. 22 years old. Went to he went to all prep high schools around here. Extremely good golfer. I don't know him personally. I know his caddy very well. His caddy went to Heritage High School, same age as me. I went to Wake Forest. But anyway, Akshay won his second PGA Tour event yesterday, and he actually beat Rory McIlroy in this tour. Or Rory McIlroy placed like 4th or 5th. But this guy, the reason why he's my game ball this week too, Cam, hole 18, he hits a 12 or 15-foot birdie putt to go into a playoff. He fist bumps, pops his shoulder out in hole 18 before the playoff hole. I have popped my shoulder out more times than anybody can imagine. Not a good feeling. This guy takes it like a champ. His shoulder's half out. He's still excited, goes to the trainer, pops his shoulder back in. He goes in the tent. The trainer tapes his shoulder back up, and he goes out and he birdies par 5 number, I don't know what hole it was, but anyway, with a popped out shoulder, he does win the playoff hole, and he wins the PGA Tour event. And he also qualified for every single major event on the PGA Tour, and he is playing in the Masters this week, which is pretty freaking cool. So Akshay Bhatia, game ball, Fat Katz.
That's awesome, man. What a story.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I know I've seen you with your shoulder out. couldn't imagine.
Not a good feeling.
Couldn't imagine you played a hole of golf.
Cam saved my life a couple times when the shoulder's out.
But my second game ball, I'm just going to throw it to the WWE script writers. We'll get into a little bit of WrestleMania, but I watched that match last night.
Insane, bro. Insane.
It was crazy.
I was trying to go to sleep. I had to work today. Trying to go to sleep. Couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm not a huge WWE guy. I watched it for my man Colby. Shout out Colby again.
Hey, what about Uncle Tommy? You talked to him yet?
I haven't called him yet. I know he's distraught that Roman Reigns lost, man. I know he's in rough shape, but yeah, Roman Reigns lost. If you didn't know, but what
also,
a script!
Did you know that Roman Reigns played football at Georgia Tech?
I did. He also played.
I had no idea about that. Did you tell me about that?
I don't know if I told you, but he also played for the Vikings.
No, I didn't know that either. What was he, a linebacker?
He's a defensive end.
Defensive end, yeah, he's a freaking hoss, man. But that the whole bloodline. So I think it was Fry maybe that was telling me about it, or one of my work friends was telling me about it. The whole bloodline. So the Uso brothers, The Rock, Roman Reigns, and then who was the big guy? John Cena.
Yeah, Solo Sikoa.
Solo. All of them played college football.
Yeah.
So the whole bloodline played college football, which is pretty cool. But Cam, we're already on the topic, brother. Give me your thoughts of WWE WrestleMania. Really, not even the whole event. Give me your thoughts on this fight, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
So, I'm not going to act like I'm an expert. I'm not going to act like I watched all the way up to this, but the Bloodline storyline is so cool to me.
I know.
Like all those guys, you bring The Rock back, like they're all family, and then they kind of turn on each other one way or another. Cody Rhodes finally gets a championship. Feels like a lifetime achievement award. I'm not gonna lie, like it probably would have made more sense for Roman to win, but whatever. Dusty Rhodes, if you haven't watched his dad, Dusty Rhodes, is hilarious. The American Dream. But what a match! I mean, you get John Cena, you get Undertaker, which when those bells went off, man, the lights went off. I was like,
I'm telling you, dude, top 5 crowd pops of all time. When you want to talk about loud, man, I watched a video. I was scrolling through YouTube today. Somebody was just filming the match, and that bell went off. Dong, and that place went excuse my language, freaking insane, man. Then the lights went off, and everybody was beer showering, going crazy. All the fans were screaming, cussing, dude. It was awesome, man. My question is, where did he come from? That's one. It's a 2-part question, Cam. 1, where did he come from? 2, how did nobody recognize him? He's like 6'9", 6'8". The Undertaker is very distinctive.
Yeah, he's done that as like his whole career. He had done that. Like
I know, but where he had to be in the crowd. He wasn't under the ring.
They keep him under the ring.
No way.
Yes, 100%.
No wonder why he was so pissed off, dude. The Rock, the lights came on, and The Rock's looking the opposite way. And Undertaker's just pissed. Hey, Cam, give me your Undertaker face. Let me look at the picture. Hey, I need my goatee back for this. All right, everybody see the picture right here?
If you're on Apple or you're on Spotify right now, go check out the YouTube at this timestamp and watch our faces.
Cam, you see this face right here?
I do.
Goatee. Yeah, dude. But when I saw that face, I was trying. My girlfriend was asleep. And I was like dozing off, and then the Uso brothers came in. And I went, oh. And then they start fighting. And then John Cena, that music, John Cena music goes off, and I'm like, holy shit. Then he comes in, and he's doing his stuff. I can't remember what his finisher's called, but and then The Rock comes in, and then my I'm going nuts. And then the Shield, what's his name, Cam? He comes in. Seth freaking Rollins comes in. He got distraught. He got his ass kicked. But one thing on Seth Rollins too, I thought that was cool. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins do not like each other, and I think it's more outside of WWE. I think on a personal level they don't like each other either anymore because of some money stuff. But anyway, Roman Reigns has the chair in his hand. He looks at Cody Rhodes. He looks at Seth Rollins, and he just is stuck on Seth Rollins, and he nails Seth Rollins with that chair. And I was like, dude, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, it was awesome. So I was informed, I didn't know this, that that match was like kind of going back in time through Roman's career because he had the feud with John Cena, obviously had the feud with Seth Rollins, and then Undertaker, unbeknownst to me, has had a feud with every single member of the bloodline, going back to like Rikishi and all those guys.
I didn't know
So
that.
it was very cool. It was like kind of replaying his career, and then ultimately, obviously, at the end of most wrestlers' careers or their title runs, they fall to the next guy.
Yep.
So I thought it was cool the way that they kind of finished Roman's story, if that is the end of his story. But like I said, man, I think Triple H is doing the storylines now.
Yeah.
He's
And
done an
Triple H is
awesome
good at
job.
it. And dude, I mean, also Roman Reigns too. He was champ for like 1,300 days. It was like, I think it was 1,325 days. So that's insane. That's like,
Crazy.
I don't know how many years. That's like COVID time. You know, it's
I think-
2024
I
now.
think I saw that was the first time since 2019 that he'd been beaten by pinfall.
That's insane.
Crazy.
And I thought it was cool. Before he does a spear, he goes, ooh, and the whole crowd does it too. And then you could tell that boy was a football player. I'd hate to be a quarterback on his blind side. I can tell you that. But yeah, that, and then going into The Rock too. Dude, if anybody, please somebody tell me that The Rock is not, somebody tell me that he's natural, please. So I was looking at pictures. Obviously, The Rock is yoked. I do think that, what's his name is more, I think Roman Reigns is more yoked than The Rock. Like, looking at them both side by side. But I don't know what it's called when your titties flare up for a man or when your boobs. Gyno.
Yeah.
Look at The Rock's chest, and you can see the scars of when he's got his boobs drained.
Yeah.
And he is juiced to the gills, man. He looked good. Don't get me wrong.
You know who else is juiced to the gills, man? Randy Orton. Did you see Randy Orton?
Randy Orton is yoked, man. Randy Orton is the only man that weighs 290 pounds with a 12-pack.
Dude, it's crazy. When they all got in the ring after Cody won, he was the biggest guy in there. It was crazy.
I thought that I was watching that, and I was telling Madison, because I woke Madison up and made her watch it. I was like, I think Randy Orton might do some crazy shit right now. He might pull some RKO on somebody.
So it's funny you say that, because when Triple H shook Cody's hand, I was like, dude, he might pedigree him here and just set this whole thing off.
So I wonder what the next feud's going to be. Like, who's going to get pissed off with Cody Rhodes? I wonder.
I don't know. I'll probably lean on Colby.
Also, they say Cody Rhodes weighs 230 pounds. If he weighs 230 pounds, then damn, I weigh 280. Maybe. And I'm like 195, 200. And that guy's just, I don't know. He is not very big, Cam, unless he's 6'5".
He's not. He was also in a ring with a behemoth.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is humongous.
Yeah.
But great WrestleMania. Like that may have got me back into wrestling.
Yeah, I know, dude. Well, however, I've watched multiple WrestleManias. That's the best match that I've seen, with all the legends coming out, and like Shawn Michaels had a few good ones, but not like that.
For sure. Ward, moving on. National championship tonight. We had our NCAA tournament snake draft of who we thought was going to win the title. Your last one is Purdue. My last one is UConn.
So who loses? What happens?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know what happens.
I don't either.
We'll have to figure it out offline.
We'll have to figure. Well, maybe we'll live stream. Maybe we'll do like the Waffle House challenge or something like that.
Oh God.
We'll have to figure.
We'll do the 9. Next time I come to Charlotte, we'll do the 9-9-9 challenge and see who wins. 9 innings, 9 dogs, 9 beers. We'll see who makes it out of there first.
Oh, dude, you are getting your ass kicked, son. But yeah, well, that's what we'll do.
Where's the rest to buy the other one's hot dogs?
That's what we'll do for sure. But I don't think, obviously Purdue has a chance. They're stepping on the court. I don't think Purdue has anything for this UConn team. What do you think?
I disagree with you, Cam. I disagree with you. Zach Edey is the best player in college basketball.
He is.
Zach Edey is the best player in college basketball. Something else I didn't know about Purdue, Cam. Guess who leads the nation in three-point shooting?
Purdue.
Kentucky Wildcats. Guess who's number 2?
Purdue.
Purdue Boilermakers. Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's a weird script. You look at what teams that get beat by, or a 1 seed that gets beat by a 16 seed or 2 outside of Kentucky. But usually when a team gets beat early, a year or two, they make a big run.
Yep.
Everybody's counting Purdue out, man. I'm telling you, UConn's big is good. Don't get me wrong. Zach Edey is a different ball game. He is a different breed. He's good. He's something that this UConn team has never seen before. Don't get me wrong. UConn is good. There's a reason why there's only been like 2 repeat champions since we've been alive, Cam. Very hard to do. And there's a lot of talent in college basketball. A lot of people are counting this Purdue team out. I picked this Purdue team to win. You didn't. So I'm riding strong with the Bullmakers.
There you go. This game has the potential to get ugly.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. Like, this UConn team has looked unbeatable this whole tournament. So I'm rocking with UConn. But should be a good basketball game. We got Player of the Year going against the best team in the country. So always, well, you would think that this should always be a good matchup.
Yep.
Ward, South Carolina, I don't have this, but we need to talk about it. South Carolina won the women's national championship, beat Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Dawn Staley leads the Lady Cox.
Lady Cox.
No Diddy. To a 38-0 record, her second national championship in 3 seasons. Dawn Staley is starting to cement her legacy as one of the greatest women's college basketball coaches of all time. Or did you get to watch the game?
I did not, Cam. I'm sorry. No.
Okay. So I was watching it on the golf course.
I was checking the score on my phone, but I didn't actually watch it. I watched the interview.
Lady Gamecocks, 14-point deficit in the first half, come back and win by 12. It was actually a really fun game. Again, watched it on the golf course, so didn't get every taste of the action, but great game by the Lady Cox, and shout out to Dawn Staley.
How'd you play golf-wise? Good?
Not very good. It was the first round since we played at New Year's, I think. I don't know. But got out there with the boys, smoked probably 4 cigars.
Attaboy.
What better way to spend a Sunday afternoon?
Yes, sir.
But Ward, your NC State Wolfpack made a dream run.
Yep.
Made an awesome run to the Final Four. Had some stars come out. DJ Burns became probably a millionaire in a few weeks. Take us through, the peaks and valleys of this NC State team and how you're going to remember this NC State team as a fan.
Absolutely. And it really hit me, Cam. So I was telling you, I went to this place. I'll have to send you the video. I went to this place called Mitch's Tavern on Hillsborough Street. They had a 16 by 20 foot TV. They blocked off a whole section of Hillsborough Street. Cam, so Dreamville, it's a giant concert. Last year Drake was here. I think J. Cole and J. Cole and 50 Cent did it this year. But anyway, I was talking to I knew a few of the police officers out there. I was talking to them. They said the traffic was worse for this NC State meetup than it was for Dreamville. And that's one. Two, there was over 10,000 people that came to watch this game. And the thing is about this basketball team, one, it's one of the greatest runs. This is I've been a State fan my whole life. This is the biggest sporting event NC State has put on since I've been alive. Biggest thing sports-wise that I've been a part of. And anyway, Cam, there's a lot of messed up stuff going on in Raleigh. There's a lot of messed up stuff going on around the whole world. What's one thing that brings everybody together? Sports. And the thing is, dude, it's just so cool going out in the community and just seeing – you don't see a lot of NC State stuff around anymore, man. Like, you don't see people repping their state stuff loud and proud. And everywhere you go right now, people are wearing state stuff. People's email signatures at work are saying, go Pack. It's just cool to see the whole community come together. It's very similar like the Panthers did in 2015 a few years ago. Obviously, the run came to an end. Our name got put on the map we helped move the ACC along. We were the last standing ACC team, Cam. So which is pretty cool to see. And yeah, man, hate we got beat, but all good runs got to come to an end eventually.
For sure. And
we shouldn't have been there. Cam, I hate to say it, we should not have been there. We should not have been there. We were this close to losing to Virginia in the semifinals of the ACC championship or ACC tournament. So
yeah,
love it for the boys, though.
Awesome run. And like I've told you, and I've told a bunch of people, like this will be something you remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah, dude, forever.
This run. super fun to be a part of,
And another thing too, it gave me the opportunity to see people that I have not seen in years, man. Like, going and meeting up with all my friends I went to high school with, going to watch the game. Like when I went to that thing at that bar, or when I went to Hillsborough Street and watched the game, dude, I ran into probably 50 people I went to high school with, or like people I knew that went to state, and everybody. I saw my cousins that I see once a year. I had no idea I'm going to see them out there. My cousins are out there. I see, former high school, former teammates, former people I played against, former people I went to high school with. It's crazy, man. Sports brings people together.
Yep. Like you said, nothing brings people together quite like sports
Yep.
does. And, shout out to Kevin Keats for getting this thing back on the right track. Shout out to DJ Burns for being the best player in college basketball for like 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
Super fun run. And I'm glad for all those guys too, because what could have went down is like, an awful season. They had the guts to turn around and make a Final Four run.
Yep.
Again, will never be forgotten. This is the second most memorable team in school history now, correct?
Yep. Third, well, we won in 74. We won in 83. I mean, a lot of the people, 74 was a long time ago. So, yeah, probably number two.
So, shout out to the Pack, man. And football season, here we come.
Well, I'm so excited for football season, but we'll talk about that another day.
Ward, we'll go over UFC 300, go over Masters, and we'll get out of here. We both have hard stops. So, UFC 300, absolutely stacked card.
Yep.
I'm going to run through it. I apologize in advance if I don't know some of these people's names or how to pronounce them. We're going to pick our winners. I'll try to make a graphic before the weekend and get it out there. For main event of the weekend, Alex Pereira takes on Jamal Hill for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Alex Pereira is a -155 favorite. Ward, who you rocking with and why?
Give me your answer first, and I'll give mine.
Okay, I'm going Poetan, Alex Pereira by knockout. Probably get better odds for the knockout. I think he retains his title. Jamal Hill's coming off an Achilles injury. He's not that skilled of a striker. He's got the power, obviously, but Alex Pereira is a world-class striker.
Yeah, he is.
Jamal Hill has said that he wants to stand and bang with him. I think Alex Pereira wins by knockout.
I really like both these fighters. There's only one Brazilian fighter I like, and that's Alex Pereira. And anyway, I really like Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill too. And Cam, I'm disagreeing with you, brother. What happened last time Jamal Hill fought a Brazilian?
He won.
He hit, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He punched him in the forehead, and his arms went like this, and he fell out. So
it was Glover Teixeira, correct?
Not Glover Teixeira. He knocked out Glover Teixeira, but it was it's the two. I'm looking at his face right now. He's the real funky guy. He's always like jumping around, doing crazy kicks and stuff. Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker is his name.
There you go.
Folded Johnny Walker, and I think Jamal Hill is coming in on a vengeance. Will he lose? Probably, but I am pulling for him, and I'm just going to disagree with you. Cam, give me Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill, the American.
There we go. The more we disagree, the better, usually.
Yeah, I know.
The co-main event is Zhang Wei Li versus Jan Xiaonanen.
Yeah.
Don't know. So it's a pick'em. It's a pick'em. I'm taking
what? It's a pick'em?
Yes.
I thought you were kidding about not putting the spread because Wei Li would be like a -500.
No, it's a pick'em.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking Wei Li.
Yeah, I'm taking Wei Li too.
The third fight on this card, we've got Justin Gaethje as a -238 favorite over Max Holloway. This one's tough for me, Ward.
I think a lot of people are counting Max Holloway out, man. A lot of people are counting Max Holloway out. I think it's I don't know. I'm not betting against Gaethje. I mean, I'm going to bet for Gaethje. Max Holloway's fighting up, but I do think this is going to be a lot closer of a fight than people think, dude. A lot closer of a fight than people think. Max Holloway has never been dropped. Remember that. Never been dropped. And he has come up and fought at 55 in the past. So, he fought Khabib at 55 still, but I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a lot closer of a fight than people think, but I think Gaethje pulls it out.
Yeah, we're talking about the best boxer in the UFC, self-proclaimed Max Holloway.
Yep.
Give me Justin Gaethje though. I think Gaethje edges it out. But this is going to be a stand and bang matchup, man. This is going to be a fun matchup if you like the sport.
Yep.
We've got Charles Oliveira going against Arman.
Yeah.
Arman. We're gonna keep it at Armand. Charles Oliveira, a dog, coming back. He Armand minus 205 favorite. I feel like I get in this situation a lot, Ward, where I love a guy like Charles Oliveira. He's kind of on the downhill of his career, and I go with him, even though he's the dog. But you know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
No.
Give me Charles Oliveira.
Give me Oliveira, and I think this is very similar to when Dustin Poirier fought the guy he just fought. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. He fought an up-and-coming guy. He was a betting underdog. And, dude, at the end of the day, Charles Oliveira was a champion for 2-3 years for a reason. He defended his belt 4 or 5 times for a reason. He's not that far out of it. It's not like he's on a 1-fight losing streak, Cam. So I think Oliveira wins this fight, and I think he gets his name back in the number one contender fight or number one contender conversation.
Something to keep an eye on with Oliveira. He's had to postpone 2 fights because he's gotten cuts above his eyebrow.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye out on that. Like, it's happened in sparring multiple times. So just something to watch out for. If you look up and he's leaking in the first round, like, that's something that's been happening to him. The biggest, kind of favorite, I guess, the biggest favorite on the card.
Yeah.
Bo Nickel, your guy, Bo Nickel. Everybody shout out to Ward.
Bo Nick.
4 or 5 years ago, he's telling me that Bo Nickel is going to be the next champion in the UFC. And
yeah, man, we were 14 years old, and I was telling Cam, this guy hadn't even committed to Penn State to wrestle yet. I said, this guy's going to be the next UFC champ. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
Bo Nickel is a minus 1350 favorite against Cody Brundage to round out the main card here. Ward, yeah. I'm going Bo Nickel.
I'm taking Bo Nickel, but I just want to point something out. If this shows you how much the UFC is pushing this guy, just like they did Sean O'Malley. So let's look at the guys he's fighting over, Cam. Yuri is on the prelim. Yuri just fought in a 205 championship fight. Aljamain Sterling just fought at a 145 or 135 championship fight, Cam. And then we're looking at another guy he's fighting over is Devison Figueiredo. And Figueiredo is, I don't know if his last fight was a championship fight, but 2 fights ago was a championship fight. Bo Nickel's fought 3 times in the This is his 3rd fight in the UFC. So UFC's pushing this guy.
For sure. Probably going to be the next star. Refer to the prelims. Let's just go through the prelims real quick. Main event of the prelims, we got Yuri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. Rakic is a minus 130 favorite. Give me Prochazka if you're going to give me plus money on him.
Yeah, give me Yuri.
Calvin Kattar is a minus 112 favorite against Aljamain Sterling. I'll go with the dog again. Aljo just coming off a title fight. Give me Aljo.
Trying to disagree with you, brother, but I don't know who this Qatar guy is, so give me Aljamain. He's half American, man. Go Aljo.
Jalen Turner, who's an up-and-comer, taking on Renato Moicano.
So another pick 'em?
Yes, pick 'em. I'm taking Jalen Turner.
Yeah, me too, Jalen Turner.
Bobby Green is a minus 205 favorite against Jim Miller. Going against the grain here for what I've been doing. Bobby Green, the favorite. I know more about Bobby Green than Jim Miller, so I'm going to go Bobby Green.
Yeah, I know Jim Miller fought at UFC 100, UFC 200, and they threw him on the UFC 300 card. This guy's old. Bobby Green, who did Bobby Green just fight? And he looked pretty damn good. Who is it he just fought?
Yeah,
he's been very active. He beat the hell out of Tony Ferguson. And then he fought somebody after that and got his ass beat. I can't remember who it was. But, yeah, man, give me Bobby Green.
Debbie Figueiredo is a minus 340 favorite against Cody Garbrandt. I love Cody too much to go against him.
Yeah, I'm riding with Cody too, brother. 340 is a lot. And also, Davidson Figueiredo is fighting up. He's fought at 125 his whole career, and now he's coming up to 35. So, Cody Garbrandt, USA. You know how we feel about the Brazilians. Load that right hand up, brother. Stand and bang.
Heck yeah. Masters Ward, biggest event of the week, maybe.
Super Bowl golf, my friend.
Give me, some guys that you think will play well. I've got a graphic here of what the cuts are.
Yeah.
Which is it's crazy. But go ahead and give me who you think is going to win or have a good week at the Masters.
Yeah. So Akshay, the guy that just won, he qualified for the Masters. He's obviously coming off a win. He's hot. That's a name to look out for. Obviously, John Rahm won it last year. So John Rahm is a big name to look out for. All the live guys are coming over. So Cam Smith, one of the best putter on tour. That's a name to watch out for. Obviously, the number one golfer or the number one player in golf, Scotty Scheffler. That's a name to watch out for. But Cam, if you're Tiger Woods obviously coming back. But if I did have to pick a guy, I'm going with Scotty.
Me too. Scotty's playing the best golf in the world.
Yeah.
It's not even relatively that close. He won 2 years ago. Obviously, John Rahm won last year. The first cut or the second cut ward, the rough at the Masters this week is going to be 1 inch and 3/8.
Oh, wow.
Which is
It's
crazy.
like my yard right now.
Yeah. So my advice to anybody betting, find people that you're, really, really confident in finding fairways because that second cut is going to be crazy.
Hey, so you think, let's over under Tiger makes a cut yesterday.
Like the odds that he makes the cut.
You think he does or not? I'm not saying over under. I'm just saying, do you think he makes the cut yesterday?
No.
I don't think so either.
I
don't know, dude. He came back in 2019 and won the damn thing. So
he did.
Another name to watch out for, Cam, is Roy McIlroy.
Yeah.
Never won a Masters, my friend.
That's crazy to think about.
He's never won a Masters. He's won every single other major tournament, but he's never won a Masters. So he's trying to be the first out of 3 golfers. It's Tiger Woods, him, or it's Tiger. I think the only 2 people that have ever won, you'll have to quote me on this, Cam, is God, I can't remember the guy's name, but Tiger Woods was one, and then when you think of the GOAT of golf, this guy's name.
Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicklaus, yeah, sorry. But Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods, I believe, are the only 2 that have won every single event that I just named, or every single pro event that I just named. So
I couldn't tell you on that, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I don't either.
But any golf guys listen, let us know.
Yeah.
If Jonathan, if you've made it this far, let us know. Also, send me your golf picks, Jonathan, because I'm going to need them this weekend.
Also, there's a good chance that some fucking excuse my language, some freaking rando wins it. There's so often where there's golfers that have one win on tour history, and it's the Masters somehow. Like that Asian guy that won it a few years ago. Eric Brown was going nuts over him. I don't know if you remember him. He has one event, or he's won one event, and
Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah, him. You can pronounce it better than me, but yeah, good chance, Cam.
Yeah. So that was. I think that's this episode of the Fat Katz.
Hey, Cam, I put one more thing down here too, man. Fadeaway pick of the week, Purdue.
There you go. Fadeaway pick of the week plus 6.5. Or are you taking money line?
We're winning.
Oh God!
You already know, man. You're damn buying my hot dogs.
Okay, we'll see. But that was episode 50 of the Fat Katz. Reminder, real quick: find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast. Find us on Instagram and TikTok at Fat Katz Pod. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let us know what you think. If we messed anything up, if you want to add anything, let us know in the comments. Ward, pleasure as always, my friend.
Pleasure as always, my friend. Sorry about John Calipari, and
we might have to have another emergency podcast for
when y'all sign Kevin Keats.
When we get Dan Hurley.
When's the last time John Calipari won an SEC championship?
2019, 2017, maybe.
Hey, it's been a while, man. Kevin Keats won one this year.
He did. By the way, I think Madison is winning our giveaway.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which is totally fine with me. We might, maybe we'll do another one soon.
I didn't even ask her to do it. She just posted it. Thank you, Madison. But our fans suck.
Well, I don't want to say that.
Can't even. We're trying to give away free stuff. Y'all can't even share it, man. Just a share.
Come on, bro. It's fun with me. I love Madison to get free stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, episode 50 of the Fat Katz. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Even though Ward's a little bit frustrated right now. Ward, again, pleasure as always, my man.
Pleasure as always, brother. Hey, have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yep. Go UConn, man.
Hey, good Boilermakers. Fuck, screw a Husky.